Hey guys, it's Quinn, and in episode 10, we are taking a look at what many consider to be the greatest film of all time. The granddaddy of them all, folks, 1972's The Godfather. The Godfather has an all-star cast with Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, and Robert Duvall leading the charge in a film with brilliant acting from top to bottom. If you've seen any of these three in a film, you can imagine the caliber that we're speaking of here. Now, we can dance around the subject, but, let's just dive into it. Is this the greatest film of all time? I do want to emphasize to start that The Godfather is far from my favorite film ever. If you're interested in what films I personally love the most, you can find the list in the link provided in the card above. But as an objective film, how does this stack up? It is difficult to say what is classified as objectively good in a film, obviously, but if we can cut down to its core, in my opinion, filmography is about telling a story. In comedies, it's one that we can laugh at the ridiculous reality of life. Idiocracy, which was the film that I reviewed a few days ago, does that pretty explicitly. In action and adventure, it's to live out our fantasies. And in drama, it's usually to look into, colloquially, just the deep shit that goes on in life. There's a reason that Oscar winners are usually dramas. They're the ones that are most universal and most close to the heart. So if dramas are about going into some of the deeper things in life, I think that there's four films that really stand above the rest. You have Citizen Kane, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Shawshank Redemption, and The Godfather. Now we can debate this list, and I'd be happy to do so, but I put them all into a category of their own because I think their stories really perfectly encapsulate something about life. Let's take Shawshank Redemption. I think that's the most widely viewed one, so let's use that as an example. The degree that it speaks to friendship and freedom, I think is just so beautiful and relatable that there's a reason it's the most popular film on IMDb, at least the last time I checked. So what are the basic concepts that The Godfather gets into? Well, I think they're even more challenging to talk about. It goes into family, loyalty, power, and it's all shit that we have to deal with, but it's presented in such a fascinating, succinct story that it's hard to not just get mesmerized by what's going on in the film. I know we're getting awfully metaphysical, so if we just take a step back for a second, The Godfather is an all-time film because it has this nucleus, which is so powerful. If you combine that with the acting, the romance, the complexity of just dozens of characters, the cinematography, hell, even the soundtrack, and they all just layer together into such a strong web that it's almost undeniable how good this film is. I've always believed that Citizen Kane was the greatest film, but after rewatching this, all I'll say is it's a toss-up. The rest of this review, I'll be honest, was just sort of a laundry list of little critiques that I had, and I realized in writing it that I could make very easy counter-arguments to all of them, so I deleted it because I realized that there really isn't that much you can ding this film on. I guess arguably the film is a little too complex. Then again, if film is about capturing, a slice of life, then for it to be complex, yet digestible, isn't really a critique. I guess the only cheap shot I can actually hit this film on is the fact that Michael got his wife back in the second half of the film, which is somewhat remarkable. Besides that, though, this film pretty much has it all. In short, if the best that I can come up with for a 3-hour-long film is that it's questionable how good Michael's game is, which is such a who gives a shit point in the film anyways, then you've created something remarkable. All I'll say is don't make the mistake I originally did of watching this film at 12 years old my first time and not getting why this film was good because I just couldn't follow the plot. For, in terms of platonic ideals, this film is as close as you're getting. This video is sponsored by a resident of Dallas, Texas. This channel is committed to giving every American an equal opportunity in this country, which is why all proceeds will be donated to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. If you're interested in sponsoring a future review video, please feel free to fill out the poll in the description below. Thank you for watching, and remember, black, white, left, and right, we're all in this together. See you guys next time. Ciao.